Well, this is a story about this Model Y and why I don't own it anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I still own it. But it has crossed my mind. You know me, I like to trade up and change things, and I know I just got this car like 1 month ago. And I've already ordered a custom plate for it, which is fine. I can keep that custom plate. I don't need, they have been dropping the price on the Model X. I've told you about that. When I sold mine, I think it was like 130 new is what they were going for, which was already 20,000 less than I had paid. Well, actually 30,000 less than what it was when I bought mine. But, it kind of had me ready to jump ship because I was like, dang, these prices are dropping. And I don't want to lose that much on my car. And I was really fortunate that they offered me $127 for my X when they were selling for like $135 new. But I took it and I ran with it because I stand to lose a lot here if this price keeps dropping. And that's exactly what it did. Today, my exact configuration, which when I bought it was $162,000. Now that's not what I paid, but that's what it was. And today, that exact configuration is $113,000. So they've dropped $50,000 since then. And I fully expect that this trend will continue for a little while because we're still about $10,000 higher than the price before the refresh. And so I feel like we may eventually get back to pre-refresh pricing, which is only $10,000 away. So if we're talking about a Model X Plaid, the exact same configuration that I owned at $103,000, you've got me convinced. I almost want to go back and get a Plaid again. Another one exactly like what I had. This time I'll probably get it PPF because we know the paint sucks. But other than that, I'm kind of convinced. I liked it. I really did. And, there were a few things that I learned when having that car that I probably should have done that I didn't do. One, PPF for the whole car. But I really also should have had the seats ceramic coated. And I didn't even know that. That wasn't even a thought. It was just I found it out along the way. And I didn't want to find it out that way. But I know that for the future. When I buy another Model X, it will be PPF'd and the seats will be ceramic coated the day I buy it. I'm not going to drive it anywhere until it's done with that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. I'm waiting on the price to drop another 10K. I think it will eventually. And I may just pull the trigger then. I would also like some sort of incentive. They have been offering 10,000 free supercharger miles on the S and X because they're not moving very fast right now. No pun intended, because they do move pretty fast. But sell-wise, they're not moving very fast. And if they drop the price even $5,000 and they do the 10,000 free supercharger miles, I may see value in that. If they drop the price $10,000 and or do the supercharger miles, I may see value in that. If it's both $10,000 and supercharger miles, I've already ordered it. It's done. Got it. And so that brings me to, I would have to trade this car. I don't have the money laying around to just go buy it. I do have the difference if I can get a decent price for this car. But we don't know if I can get a decent price for this car. That is problem number one. This car, I think today is like 56,000 new. And then you add enhanced autopilot, we're talking about 6,000 more. So what, 62,000? And I'm not going to get 62,000 for it ever. I think Tesla offered 50 for it as of now. And that was before the price dropped yesterday, which it dropped another $3,000 yesterday. So I may not get a decent price for this car. If I could get 55 or 56, considering it has enhanced autopilot, that's kind of my number. I think that's fair. I don't want to get rid of this car already. But I I do also want a Model X. The plan is to take this car on the trip in June, which is coming up. And that's going to be like 10,000 miles. So this car is going to have 10,000 miles on it when we get back. Ideally, I would trade the car after that, because then, you know, the mileage would be kind of not my problem, and I would have gotten to enjoy it. And, you know, a car with 10,000 miles doesn't tend to lose that much value, at least not a Tesla. So it shouldn't be that big of a deal. My X, for example, had like 11,000 miles on it. So anyway, those are my thoughts and ideas, and what may end up happening, and we'll see. I don't know. You know, it's just me talking as of right now. I would love to have another X, but there's a few things that need to happen. At today's price, it's just not a sell for me. And without any major incentives to make me want to go buy it, it's still not a sell for me. So what could they do to change that? Well, you know, I've already outlined that. And if they do both, then, you know, I think it's a sold, done deal. I don't even care. If we're talking about 103 plus 10,000 free supercharger miles, and then they give me 50 for this car, I only need like 53 plus tax. That's not bad, and I've got that. So I think that's a sale. I think that's it. Now we're talking 63. I don't think so. You know, would I love to have a Model X? Yes. But even right now, like I say, I'm going on this trip. I don't want to take the Model X on that trip. One, you know, yeah, PPF is great, but it only does so much. And am I still going to get rock chips after the trip? And two, I'm going to have 10,000 miles on a brand new car that, you know, I don't know if I'm going to want that on it. So yeah, it doesn't make sense right now, but maybe in July, if things work out. And then July through September is kind of what I'm looking at. So, and the reason I say that is because September will be quarter end, and they're more likely to push, you know, the 10,000 free supercharger miles in September if they need the sales in September. So that'll be my expected goal, is September, if it works out. And if it doesn't work out, I have a great car. There's nothing wrong with this car, and I'll just keep it for a while. You know, I could drive this car for a year and put 30,000 miles on it, and I'd still get a pretty decent amount for trade-in. So I might as well just, you know, enjoy it. So we'll see where it goes. I'm going to work now. Go make my money so I can buy another car. Okay, bye. You know, I made the video, the first part of this video, yesterday. Within one day, they did exactly what I said they would do. They are now offering 3 years free supercharging with any S or X purchase. And I didn't expect it to happen that quickly, but I did expect it to happen, which I thought was hilarious. And the only downside to that entire prediction is that they didn't drop the price of the car. They actually raised the price. So now the Model X is $2,500 more, which is not great. But I gave it some thought last night when I seen 3 years free supercharging, and I thought, you know, this maybe, you know, I'm tempted now. You've tempted me, but I think I've decided that I'm going to wait, because there's always been this looming promise that the Model X was going to get Matrix headlights. It still does not have them, and that's a big deal to me. Matrix headlights make a huge difference. And so I'm going to wait on that. So that may be September. It may be longer than that at this point. Who knows? But Matrix headlights are pretty much the only thing that the Model X is missing. And I want it. So